Hey, JobTread Pros. So I have here what I think and I believe is my most exciting Zap yet. This Zap will put Zillow information onto your JobTread record, and I'll show you how I created the Zap, and I'll show you how it works within JobTread. First thing is within JobTread, this is the customer location record. So on there, I've created 4 custom fields: the Zillow URL, the Zestimate, and date last sold, as well as the year built. The URL, pretty self-explanatory. The Zestimate and the date last sold, we use these during our qualification process. And it's not to say we will kick someone out because they don't have a home value worth a certain amount. But if someone's going to spend, so let's say 200,000 on a kitchen and their home value is worth 300, right? That really starts setting up a lot better and deeper conversation when we have our qualification call with them. And it's certainly always good to know kind of when they bought and how long they want to stay in the house. This is all good information we like to have at the first phone call. So this is the location record. Once that customer has been converted to a job, on the job record, you'll see on the right side, you got all the location information. And down here, you can scroll and you can see the custom fields for that as well. So it's easily accessible on the job side. So I'll start going through the Zap here. My trigger is creating a customer, and there's probably a variety of triggers that could work this, but I think for me the best thing is essentially as someone fills out a web form that it will run through this automation. And you'll see I have path set up. I would strongly advocate always setting a path because it allows you to further build out your zaps as you develop more things around that trigger, because keep in mind you're limited on the number of triggers you can have from JobTread. So you really want to try to keep all the things that are triggered under the same umbrella. So definitely utilize paths. It's really beneficial. It's free now with all the plans. So let's get into the Zap. All right, first thing is we're going to split the address, and I'll show you why here in a second. And actually, I'll just jump down to the actual Zillow data. So the way the code has been written is the state, the zip, the street, and the city need to be on their own separate lines. So I'll jump back to here so we split the address. So the input I'm using is the formatted address from JobTread. So you got to make sure there is a location address. So depending on how you collect your initial information, you'll need to make sure you have an address. And I like the formatted address better from JobTread because you can see it's already set up for the street, comma, city, comma, and then carries through the address. So my separator here is a comma, basically saying if there's a comma, make it a separate line as my segment index here indicates. So it'll split that up. You see here I got one more problem. I got state and zip combined. Go to my next action, and I'm using the space separator to separate that. All right, so that separates that information. Go back here to my, let me jump back up here. So what you're looking for is you want to do the code by Zapier, and the event is run Python. Okay, I didn't write this code. I paid a $5 to write it. So I couldn't tell you exactly how it works. I don't know what any of this means. All I know is it works. The next step you're going to need to do is you got to sign up for a Rapid API account. It's $20 a month. What I would have, you got to determine if that's worth it for you. But for us, every time we would get a lead, the first thing we'd always do is throw it in Zillow and look at that information. So we're having to copy it, open a new tab, paste it in there, all that good stuff. So now I would advocate $20 is pretty worth it. So what you want to do is you get a Rapid API, you sign up for an account, and you want to search. When you go in the search bar, go to Zillow, type in Zillow. You got make sure you get the one with the icon right there. I'm already subscribed, and what it's going to do is it's going to generate a key for you. You want to grab this key. Don't worry about the host. The host should stay the same, but just double check that. Grab this key right here and drop it into this right where this is going to be. I will post this code and I will leave this intentionally blank or put insert key here or something like that. So you got to enter that in 2 places. You got to enter it here, kind of at the top, and as you scroll down, you'll see there's a place to enter it here as well. So enter that code or key in both those areas. All right, so that data, I've already run through all the tests, and this, for some reason, this is kind of laggy right now. Zillow produces a ton of information. So I'm not going to scroll through it because it's going to lag and it's going to stall out and stuff like that. But they've got so much data down here if you really cared to get that. So grab the data you want and let's move on. So I'm going to format the Zestimate because I want to show in more of like a dollar symbol format. So I'm going to take the input. I want it to be US dollar. And let me just scroll back up here just so you can see it's a formatter, which is also free. And the event is numbers. And then the action you're going to take is format the currency and put the number that you're looking for, do all this, just copy and paste, and I'll put this format in here as well. It's kind of this weird symbol. I don't even know what that is. I'll copy that as well. All right. And then on the update, now the action is updating the location for JobTread. And so these only fill the fields in here that you want to be updated. So the first one, you've got to do organization. Then it has to find the proper location. And because that's tied to this record, you just type in location ID and then pop that in there. I'm updating the location address with the formatted address. Once again, I want to see kind of it properly laid out. And this is all coming out of JobTread. So I can just in case someone say like they lowercase their whole address, or they, G is capitalized, A is lowercase. I want to see it really more consistent because we use this information across different Zaps. So I'd like to see that, nice and clean. Now the 4 Zillow fields, right? This is all coming out of the Zillow Zap we had, and you see they number them, so you can see, these are number 1. These are coming out of my initial trigger, and these last 4, last 3, and then this output one. These number 12s. This is all stuff coming straight out of the Zillow action. So we got this Zestimate, the URL. We got the Zestimate here. We got the date last sold, and then the date year built. I have found like sometimes these dates don't come across for various reasons. It's a Zillow thing. I'm not exactly sure why that information doesn't get pushed. So, it may stumble a couple of times on locations. It's nothing with the Zap. It's something to do with Zillow and them not properly updating. So I'm not sure if it's the real estate agents or what's going on with that. So run through that. I take another step, totally optional. You could send a text on open phone, or an email, or we use Slack. There's a variety of ways you could potentially do this. What this is basically doing is sending, as if someone signs up, it's sending this lead to the project consultant. So I've got my whole thing, and I'm not sure, Slack here. If you use it, this is great. If not, the message text is really what you're probably after. So I'm throwing the JobTread URL in there. So you can see all this has the number 1, all this information except for a couple of these here come out of the initial trigger. So you're not having to find or search information. It's just stuff that's already there. So the name, kitchen remodel, how'd you hear about us, any notes, and then the Zillow information. So that's the full Zap. I hope this is really helpful. It's been such a great lead tool for us, and really has helped our qualification, because we can get in a lot better conversations when we understand this information. So good luck, and definitely ping me if you got any questions. Bye.